We're making curry at home in the pressure cooker. Here we have spices: cardamom, coriander seed, fennel seed, dried oregano, dried thyme. They're going into the mortar to be ground up into a powder form. All of these spices are said to be supportive of healthy immune system. Particularly, they're said to be supportive of kidney function and useful for diabetics. In any case, for the purpose of making this curry the perfect flavor, it's going to be a very authentic tasting curry, depending on what you find to be authentic. These are onions, 5 onions sliced. 2 pounds of lamb, organic, paid about $5.50 for it. And we have chopped garlic and chopped ginger. Whole tomatoes, canned, about 2 cans. Here are our ground spices. Cayenne, cinnamon, fenugreek, cumin, paprika, turmeric. These two all contribute to warming the body, it is said. Here we have carrots and potatoes. Notice the size that they are cut. Pay very close attention to the ratios of all this food. I will be posting more detailed recipes on my various Thrifty Cooking Solutions blogs. However, for the time being, pay attention to the ratios of the different ingredients. This is hot beef fat that I'm searing the lamb in. Now pay very close attention to the technique of caramelizing this. Notice the color of that lamb. I'm going to add in the garlic and ginger now. Now, this is the point where things become risky for beginner cooks, because if you botch the temperature, you're going to burn those ingredients. So you need to find that balance between too hot and burning on these beautiful sugars that are coming out of these foods, or the perfect temperature, which just browns them. Here are our ground spices. And you'll notice that this is quite dry. Add the onions. It's going to moisten things up, and I'm going to cook the onions down until they're caramelized and there's a lot of liquid that's come out. Notice on the bottom right, the caramelization. I'm adding chicken stock to it to work that off the bottom of the pot. This is key to producing fine flavors in food. Notice this technique and employ it. I'm adding a little bit of stock to the pot periodically and using that stock to work the caramelization off the bottom of the pot with my spatula. Now I'm adding the tomatoes. By this point, I've worked all of those flavors off the bottom. Here are the vegetables, potatoes and carrots. I'm going to stir them in. Stir everything in before you add a new group of ingredients. You need to incorporate things thoroughly. Now I'm adding my chicken stock. This chicken stock was made in the pressure cooker. You'll see a video of it posted soon. Bay leaf. The lid goes on the pressure cooker. And we go at a medium-high. Notice it's now starting to release its steam. The total cooking time for this curry was about 45 minutes until completion. It was perfectly done, and I would say that to achieve the same quality of flavor without a pressure cooker, you'd be looking at more like 3 or 4 hours of simmering. So the amount of power that you're going to use for that is significantly more. So this is thrifty, and it's a fantastic comfort food for the winter time or the summertime. Serve it with white rice. Notice how the steam releases from this pressure cooker, just sort of intermittently. It's simmering quite rapidly, but because we've incorporated all of the ingredients completely, I'm not concerned about scorching. If I hadn't worked those brown bits off the bottom, then probably they would burn. Getting ready to remove the top. I found when I did this that the thickness wasn't to my liking. The flavor was there, but the potatoes hadn't cooked in a way that the broth was really thickened. So we went back to the heat and I added grated potato. Notice how it's quite broth-like. The flavor is there. It tastes fantastic, but I want to thicken it a little bit better so it coats a spoon and it's more suitable for eating with rice. So I'm whisking in grated potato. This is my thickening agent of choice, and I use it often as opposed to flour. I'm incorporating that grated potato. First it'll be totally liquid, but little by little as the temperature rises, it will thicken the broth. Keep working it off the bottom. I am going to put the lid back on and I am going to simmer it a little bit more in the pressure cooker. But I do want to incorporate that grated potato into the broth completely. And you'll just notice, you'll get a feel for the color changing, and you'll notice it begin to slightly thicken. This is still quite viscous. It's too liquid. And now we have a finished product. Great warming food for the winter time, very supportive of a healthy immune system. Homemade curry in the pressure cooker. Inexpensive, easy to make.